Item: SCP-468. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. A buffer area of 1 km is to be maintained around SCP-468-2. Individuals found inside upon initial Foundation acquisition may only exit with the permission of the overseeing Level 4 researcher. All Foundation personnel entering for purposes of observation must exit 2 hours after entrance. SCP-468-1 is not to be moved from SCP-468-2. It is to be contained within a standard locked containment unit. One video camera inside the unit is to monitor SCP-468-1's movement. The unlocking combination is held by the overseeing Level 4 researcher. Description: SCP-468-1 is an abacus with dimensions of 20 by 7 cm, in near-perfect condition, with no missing beads or signs of disrepair. Its beads, despite the lack of any obvious motor or driving system, will move autonomously. Periods of movement are interspersed by periods of rest, which usually last 3 to 5 hours. SCP-468-1's beads will often perform basic arithmetic operations, though this is not always the case. SCP-468-2 is the former farming village of Redacted, located in the Chinese province of Jiangsu, with an area of about 2.3 square kilometers. It is presumed that the previous owner of SCP-468-1 lived within this village. Research Site 133, which houses all personnel assigned to SCP-468, is located 3 km from SCP-468-2. Foundation investigations have data expunged. Roads, houses, and other sufficiently large man-made structures inside SCP-468-2 will shift their positions as SCP-468-1 itself moves. Movement invariably results in the formation of geometric patterns. Usually, roads lined with houses will move to form rows and columns. Other patterns that have been observed include basic circular and triangular patterns. Researchers have recorded a relation between arithmetical operations done by SCP-468-1 and the movement of SCP-468-2. For example, SCP-468-1 moving to multiply 10 and 32 resulted in a 10 by 32 grid pattern, with outlying houses forming a perimeter around the resultant grid. All sufficiently large animals, including horses, dogs, cats, and human beings, within SCP-468-2 are subject to its effects. During periods of SCP-468-1's rest, affected subjects will travel between structures. Only SCP-468-2's roads will be used to travel. No two subjects will ever travel in different directions on the same road. The speed of travel is invariably 2.3 meters per second, with one pace taken every 0.6 seconds. Mathematical functions are often performed with affected subjects acting as counters. Animals susceptible to SCP-468-2's effects begin to display symptoms 2.5 hours after entry into the village. The initial symptom is the loss of all complex mental functions, such as basic coordination, language skills, and reasoning. After 3 hours inside, instinctive and reflexive actions, such as the fight or flight response, are forgotten. After 3.5 hours, brain activity reduces to an essentially comatose state, and only the knowledge of how to walk is retained. However, only a certain number of affected individuals actually take place in group movement at any given time. Because of this, surplus beings will simply data expunged. If enough subjects are removed from SCP-468-2 such that the number of affected individuals inside is less than, all movement will cease. It can only resume once members of the same species as the removed subjects are placed inside SCP-468-2. Despite their inability to consume food or water, all subjects seem to be in perfect health. Removing SCP-468-1 from SCP-468-2 causes all activity within SCP-468-2 to cease, though affected subjects do not regain lost mental capacity. Given the research opportunity that would be lost, this is prohibited.